Hi guys, good morning or good lunchtime for you. It's 9 o'clock in England, so I'm just I'm just back. Sorry, my phone is charging, so it's on the thing. I'm just back from the school run. When we say the school run, it's like when you drop your children at school, so you go there and back, and we call it the school run. So I'm just back from that, and I'm having a problem with my phone standing up. I had to put my charger in. Okay, I'm balancing it. Hi, morning. So yeah, I'm balancing it, so hopefully it will stay put. All right. So yesterday we talked about the job interview and your. So I'm not sure. Maybe lots of you will watch this second time round because it's lunchtime for you. Okay, so I'll get started. I have helmet head. This is what I was saying. Good morning. You see, I've had my. Oh, okay, we're back. Why did it pause? I don't know. Computers. All right. So, when you're thinking about your questions, there are some things they will ask you, but they may word them slightly differently. So you can sort of think about the questions they might ask you and have some ideas in your head about how you might answer them. My glasses were foggy. So first thing I would say, a good idea, something that I have forgotten to do in the past, and we say it's caught me out because I wasn't prepared, is to find out about the company or business that you are going for an interview with. So even though it may be the same role that you're applying for, so it might be the same job that you do now, just for a different company, make sure that you find out about that specific company. So look at their website if they have one, or I don't know, if they have a shop or something, go and have a look round. Find out if they have a product they sell, find out about it. If it's their services, find out about those. You know, really learn about what they do, so that you can have the information with you and adapt your answers to suit what they want and what they're looking for. Because every company is different, and even though you might be doing the same role, essentially, it can still be very different from company to company. So it's good to find out what that company is really like before you go for the interview. So they'll probably ask you questions as well about their company, like what do you know about what they do, and things like this. And if you don't have any idea about their company, they're not going to be very impressed. So first of all, thing to do is find out about what they excuse me, what they do. So one of the questions they may ask is, what can you bring to this job or to this role, to this company? So they'll say, what can you bring to us? It doesn't mean, are you going to bring your own computer, or are you going to bring cake at coffee time? It means like what skills do you have? Okay, what experience do you have? What can you offer us? So they might say, the question might be, what can you bring? And they might say to our company, to this job, to this role. Company. It depends how they word it, really. Role, whatever it is, okay? So it's like what they're saying is, what can you offer us? Why should we choose you rather than somebody else? Okay, so then you have to try and think about what it is that you have done, so what experience you have that you can offer them, and what skills you have that you can offer. So think about what you've done in your last job and how you can transfer. We talk about transferable skills. I don't know if you can say. Oh. Sorry, my phone beeps things at me whilst I'm doing this. Transferable skills. So these are skills that excuse me, skills that you have that can be used for many different things. You know, like if you talk about the fact that you have good organisational skills, for example, you know, you're very good at organising things, then that's a transferable skill. You can use that for all different things. You can organise everything. So, you know, that's a transferable skill. It's just like a skill that you have, something that you're very good at, that you can use for different jobs. And try not to, you know, you're trying to sell yourself. You know, you're good at what you do without showing off. I don't know if you know what I mean by to show off, to be, we say to show off, or to be a big head, like, oh, I'm amazing. You know, don't do that. But don't be shy. You know, say if you're good at something. Whoa, sorry. Sorry. If you're good at something, say you're good at it. You know, don't put yourself down. Okay. Do you know what I mean by that? To put something like, so don't criticize yourself. So don't be shy, and don't put yourself down. You have to sell yourself. Okay. So if you put yourself down, it's like you're criticizing yourself. Don't do that. You know, if you're not particularly good at something, don't talk about it. They don't need to know. Or say that you're working on it. If you're working on something, it's like you're improving it. Oh, hi, thanks for joining. Okay, sorry, I have to check my notes so I don't forget stuff. Oh yeah, so yes, you can add personal things as well. So if you have a hobby that relates to your job, for example, like I don't know, there's things that we do. I don't know, in England there are groups where, like adventure groups, they call them the Scouts and the Boy Scouts and the Girl Guides, and they're like an adventure group, and they go out and they do lots of outdoor stuff, and they do lots of organising, and they do lots of teamwork. So if you've done things like this, where like hobbies that involve teamwork and involves working with other people, or it's a sport, so you play on a team, so that teaches you a good skill to work with other people. Okay, so you can talk about that, you can use that in your job. You don't have to say, I'm an amazing football player, so I'm going to be really good at this job. But you take the part of being a football player that relates to the job. So the fact that you have to work as a team, and you have to, you know, you have to work with other people. You can't be a good football player if you don't work with other people. You'll be rubbish. Okay. So, you know, you think about things that you do in your own time and think about how it relates to the job. So yeah, not the fact that you can kick a ball for miles, but the fact that you work as a team will relate to most jobs, probably, apart from mine, because I'm sitting on a phone talking to myself like a crazy person. I have no team here at the moment, it's just me. Okay, so I'm going to give you like an example of an answer that you could have, but I'm reading it because I can't remember the whole thing. Okay, so for example, you could say, I believe I have enough professional experience in the areas of marketing and sales or finance to make a difference to your organisation. I bring with me, so if you bring something with you, it's your skill. I bring with me a significant experience in the areas of marketing, customer relationships and sales through my experience as, you say your position, at, and the company. So you work as so I work as a teacher. I work as a teacher at Berry Language School. Okay. Customer. So if we talk about marketing is like sales, advertising, trying to sell the company or the business or the product. And customer relationships is obviously how you deal with your customers. You know, how you talk to customers and understand problems. So customer relationships involve problem solving, as well. You know, understanding other people, having empathy with other people. You know, if you have a customer that comes to you with a problem and you're not interested or you don't care about that problem, you're not going to be very good with customer relationships. So, you know, there are different things that you have to think about. We talk about having a can-do attitude. So a can-do attitude is like your ability to, you know, you don't look at a problem and say, oh, there's a terrible problem, I can't do anything about that. If there's a problem or there's something you don't understand, you say, okay, I can figure this out. So this is a positive thing to say, and it's not like you're saying to your boss you've got a major skill. So if you're thinking, oh, how do I sell myself? I don't know. What good things can I say about myself? If you say you have a can-do attitude, it's not, you're not lying about anything. You're not saying you've got a skill you have got. You're saying that you approach the job with a positive attitude and that you want to be able to do the job. So, so it's a positive attitude towards like a problem or learning new things. Okay, so can-do attitude is very important to employers. They want people who don't see a... Oh, shiver. Sorry. Bad morning. They want people who, you know, see things in a positive way, and they don't want people who see a problem and think, oh, I can't really do that, and they ignore the problem. They see the problem and they try to tackle or solve the problem for themselves. They use their initiative. We talk about to tackle or solve a problem. Okay. So it's about being positive. I have taken jobs before where I really didn't know, you know, I knew the job, but there were lots of things that I didn't know how to do. And in the interview I would say, I don't know how to do that, but I will learn. So if you show that you're willing to learn, they are often happy to give you a chance. I forgot that you would do that. Sorry. So, you know, like, where did I work? Okay, I will tell you a story. But it was a bit naughty. I went for a job when I was travelling in New Zealand, and there was a cafe in the town near me. And so I applied for this job, as I needed some money, and they said, oh, can you cook? I said, yeah, of course I can cook, because I can cook. You know, I'd been cooking for myself for quite a few years. I'd never cooked in a cafe before, but I thought, I can learn, it's fine. And so I said to them, look, I can cook, I have a rough idea about how to do most things, but I haven't done it for a cafe before. But I said, I'm willing to learn. I said, I'll come in early and I will practice. So I took this job. They gave me the job because they're very nice. And so I used to go in early in the morning and bake cakes. And I learned to cook like so many cakes, but for the first week or so, there were quite a lot. They had a pig bin, so anything that was waste went in the pig bin. So the pigs had a really good week for the first week, where my cakes went really, really bad. But because I was willing to practice and to learn and to have a go, they gave me the job because they were happy that I wanted to do it. So if you know, if I just got in and said, they said, can you cook? And I went, oh, not really. Oh, no. You know, I wouldn't have got the job. But because I said, I can cook a bit and I will learn, they gave me the job. So if you show that you're willing to try Pigs. Yeah. The pig bin. So like it was the waste food. So any food that didn't go, that the customers didn't eat, or any food that was waste, went in what they called the pig bin, and you put the food in there, and they fed it to the pigs. That's what happened. So the pigs had a good week because I ruined about a lot of cakes in the first week. I wasn't very good at cooking, so the pigs ate those cakes, and then after that I was good at cooking, and now I can make a really good carrot cake, if you like carrot cake, and a good chocolate brownie. They're my main my main recipes. And the carrot cake that was the recipe from this cafe was my friend's recipe, and it's like the best carrot cake recipe, and it never goes wrong. It's really good. Really, really good. Apart from the first week, then it went wrong. Yeah, so you say... Anyway, sorry. I am rambling. That sort of story you don't tell in your interview. Because they will won't have time. They don't have time for these stories. So try and be more concise. Okay, I'll make you a carrot cake. If I ever meet you, I'll make you a carrot cake. I said that's the problem, isn't it? I can't give you carrot cake on Skype. We will meet one day and I'll make carrot cake. Or I can put the recipe on here as well. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, I've lost track now. I'm sorry. Oh, God. My phone's going to fall over as well. Okay, so... let's have a look. I'll give you another example of that. Okay, perfect. Right, so I'm going to give you another example of an answer for, talking about yourself and what you can bring to the company. So you say, my objectives of developing strong relationships, building a strong reputation and continuous innovation, and my high standards of service are all aligned to your company and their own mission and objectives. So basically saying that what you believe in hello. So basically saying that what you believe in and what you want to do is exactly what... Oh, are we back? Hello, can you hear me? I think is this still working now? It paused. I think we're going again now. Okay, so basically you're saying that what you believe in and what you want to do is what the company are looking for. Okay, so you have the right attitude that they want. Okay, we're back. I don't know why it paused. It keeps pausing today. I have internet. Who knows? Yes, so talking about how you want to improve the reputation of their company, improve their marketing ideas, and build relationships with other companies as well. Okay, so basically, when they ask you what you can bring to the job, you want to think about all the skills and experience you have that will benefit them. So you're selling yourself. You're saying, look at me, this is what I can do, and this is how it's going to benefit your company. This is how I can improve your company. Okay, that is what you're going to do. That's the plan. Okay, another question. What are your ambitions, goals? So there's different ways of asking this question. They might say, what are your ambitions and goals? So this question you can have ready for any, pretty much any job you're going for. So it's about you. It's about what you want to achieve. Excuse me. Or what do you hope to achieve? So this is like the same question in different ways. So this you can have like your own model answer for what you want. I suppose I should put a question mark on it. Or and then they also say, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? It's a terrible question. Well, it's not. If you're very ambitious, it's probably a very good question. I'm not that ambitious. I'd be like, I don't know. I'd like to be travelling the world. No, don't say that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or where would you like to be in 5 years? Okay, so again, you know, try and be ambitious and interesting in this answer. Don't say what I would say. I'd like to be travelling the world, or you know, relaxing on a beach somewhere after winning the lottery. That's not what they want to hear. Apart from it's true, isn't it? That's what we'd all like to be doing. And not running the world. Okay, so this is basically to show that you have ambition and that you want to improve yourself, and that you're willing to learn and develop as a person. So I will give you it doesn't mean that you don't want to run their company, because like, also if you said that, some people might not like that. You know, if you're talking to the boss, you might say in 5 years time I want your job, then he might not like that, so be careful. But you can talk about, you know, developing your own skills, improving yourself as a person, you know, learning to do your job as well as you possibly can, and that sort of thing. Or, you know, it depends on your personal preference. I'm going to give you an example of an answer. Again, I'm reading it, so bear with me. So I have to look. If I put it there, I can find it. Okay, so you could say, I want to develop my career in the area of, and then the area that you'd like to be. So, meaning that you want to improve yourself, okay? I believe that I have a lot to offer from my diverse professional experience and personal skills. So you're saying that you think you're already good, you already have experience. Diverse experience means experience from different areas, okay? From different things. Not just one thing. And your personal skills, so things that you are personally good at. I can lead whatever kind of teams to achieve and exceed their objectives, and I can contribute to the business expansion of any company. I do not have the ambition of a particular level of I do not have an ambition for any particular level. I am more interested in enjoying what I do and contributing to the development of the company. I'm interested in personal development through the process. Any progression through the structure of the company will be the consequence of good work I'm capable of doing. So basically what you're saying is, explain that. You're saying that I don't want your job, you know, I don't want to be the boss of the company. I'm not on a mission to get higher and higher and higher in my job, but I want to improve as a person. So it's a way of saying, like, I want to be the best I can be, and I want to develop as a person and improve my skills and learn to do this job to the very best of my ability. And if that means that you give me a promotion, then that's really good. But the promotion is not my goal. You know, being the best I can be is my goal. So that makes you sound more sincere. And and also you're not saying, you know, I just want to earn loads of money and I want to be the top of this company. Because that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear about you wanting to be really good at your job. And then if you are really good at your job, then you probably will get promoted. Okay, so that's what you talk about. You talk about the fact that you want to improve yourself and be the best you can be. Okay? Another way of saying it would be, in the next 1 to 2 years, I see myself becoming a true expert at my role as, whatever it is, at your company. I plan to devote myself and understand all the ins and outs. So the ins and outs are like all the different things that you do, all the details, all the workings of the company, of the business, and the areas which could be improved, and to make the team as efficient as possible. Afterwards, I want to extend my expertise and offer help to other departments using the skills I've gained from my role. Okay, so basically, it's this different way of saying the same thing. You're not saying you want to take over the world, you don't want to take over the company. You just want to learn to be really good at what you do and improve as a person. And that is what they want to hear. You know, they don't want somebody who's just interested in the money or climbing the ladder. They're interested in people who want to be really good at the job that they are offering, because that's the job that you're applying for. So, you know, there's no point saying, oh, I'm only applying for this job because I want the next job. They want somebody who's good at this job, the one that you are applying for. Okay, so that's what you are focusing on. Even if you do only want that job because you want the next job, you know, don't say that. Just say you want to be really, really good at this job and be the best person you can be, and then you're going to get the next job anyway. Okay? All right. Then I'm going to go on to a question that I really hate. Only because I'm really bad at answering it. So I am, because I'm hopeless at interviews. So we say, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Nobody likes this question, because no one wants to talk about their weaknesses because they want to get the job, and a lot of people aren't very good at talking about their strengths. Okay, so strengths. Again, you don't want to show off. So I'm just going to have a quick drink. Sorry. I need more coffee this morning. We overslept. I think I turned my alarm clock off in my sleep, so we woke up late this morning, and it was horrible. Horrible rush. Oh, never mind. So I need more coffee. Right, okay. I sound like an old lady. So your strengths. So think about things that you're good at. That can be of benefit to the job. So not, again, I'm an amazing football player. Okay, you're a good football player. You have good, you're good at working as a team. You have good personal skills. Okay. And so, yeah, so I'm going to give you some examples and explain them. So you could say, I am disciplined in my professional and personal life. So an example of this would be that you have been playing a sport since you were young, and you have the discipline that it requires to do this sport and to train regularly and to improve. So, for example, if you play football, if you ride horses, whatever sport it is that you love, you have to have discipline to do this sport. You know, you have to get up every morning or every whatever and go and practice to improve, to get better. So you can use that as an example of being disciplined. You know, I go to the gym 4 times a week because I want to keep fit, and I'm very disciplined in this. So yes, it's your personal life, but it relates to your job. If you weren't disciplined, you wouldn't go to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, because you wouldn't care. Okay, so you can use things like that as an example to show how you are disciplined in your personal life and how it relates to work. I'm a good team player, again, so if you have sport or anything like this where you have to work with other people, you can show that. So you can say, I like working with other people, I enjoy meeting new people, I like interacting with other people, trying to solve problems, come up with new ideas. So, you know, that's, again, you can use your social life or your personal life to give examples of that with team sports, or I don't know, even if you play in a band, if you like music and you play in a band, you know, you have to be able to work with other people, because otherwise your band would be terrible. So you can use that to explain. So anything that you do in your life that you can relate is good, and it shows that you're interesting as well. You know, you have other interests. They don't want to hear endlessly about your hobbies, but if those hobbies can be related and show that you are, you know, you don't just go home and watch TV every night and do nothing else and don't talk to anyone. You know, you sit on your own in your house watching TV for hours. That's not showing many skills. But if you play a musical instrument, if you love a sport, if you like running, if you look after animals, so if you have an animal, for example, you have a dog or any animal, that shows responsibility. Okay, so I've always had animals, and I have to look after my animals every day, and that shows responsibility. It shows you have to care. You have to get up in the morning and look after them, and that's a good skill to have. So anything like that can relate. Again, they don't want to know the names of all my pets, and they don't want to know, how I have all these animals in my house. They don't want to know that, but they want to know that I get up in the morning and I feed the animals and I look after them and I take full responsibility for them, because it shows you're a responsible person. Okay. Another one would be I have a good sense of time. I'm good with deadlines and deliver on time. And this enables me to work under pressure to strict deadlines. So, if you can stick to a deadline, this is really important. So, just being like, if you've just left university, you can give the example that you've always had your assignments in on time. You are never late with an assignment, you do things on time, and you work well under pressure. They don't want people who, as soon as you give them a deadline, they go, panic, 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 run round. We have an expression to say to run round like a headless chicken. When you're panicking and you don't achieve anything, you just run round like a crazy person. So they want to know that you work well under pressure. So, and that you can meet these deadlines. They don't want to be chasing you and saying, where is the work? Why haven't you done it? Okay. I have a high standard of customer service, and try to exceed expectations. So to show that you care about, your product and you care about your customer. And I have a high sense of ownership and accountability on the task that I undertake. Again, so this is like saying that if somebody gives you a job to do, you're going to do it to the best of your ability, and it's your job. Somebody said, can you do this? And you take responsibility for that job, and you're going to do it as best as you can, because you want people to know that it's your job and you've done it well. You're not just going to pass it on to the next person and not care about it. And again, the other strength is what we said earlier, a can-do attitude. So to say that you will take on a role and you'll do your best to achieve everything, and if there's a problem, you will try and solve the problem, and you'll try and learn how to do things rather than just ignoring it. Okay, so they are all strengths. They are all strengths that you can have. Oh, hiya. And they are good strengths to have without making you sound like, oh yeah, I'm just amazing. You're not showing off. You're not being a big head. You're just saying these are the things that I'm good at. So don't be shy to say it. Don't do yourself down. Don't say, oh, I haven't got any strengths. Everybody has a strength. Everybody is good at something. So just think about things you're good at. If you get on with people, then, you have good people skills. If you're good at, talking to people and chatting, and that's really important in lots of jobs. Hi, thanks for joining. Okay, so they are the strengths. Then we have weaknesses. Okay. Let me have a look. So, weaknesses are difficult because you don't want to say any weakness that particularly relates to that job. Okay. You don't want to say, if you're going for a job as a waitress, oh, I'm terrible at carrying plates. I smash glasses all the time. Don't say that. Or don't say, well, I'm always late. That's rubbish. I never turn up for work on time. Nobody wants that. Don't say that, ever. Even if it's true. Don't tell them. Just try and get out of bed on time. Okay, so, don't make it an obvious one for that job. So nothing that will affect the job that you're going for. So yes, I have weaknesses, but they're not going to affect my work. So yeah, you could say that. Everyone has weaknesses, so they expect something. But you could say, I have weaknesses, but I don't let them affect my job. I don't let them affect me professionally. And you could say, I like to leave my problems at home, and I don't bring things to work, and I don't let it get involved with my working life. You can also talk about weaknesses as a strength. So one that lots of people like to use is to say you're a bit of a perfectionist. So to mean that you do everything to a very high standard, which is a good thing, but occasionally it can mean that you're a little bit slow at completing things because you like to do everything to such a high standard. Okay, that's quite a common one for people to use. And again, yeah, you could, if you're stuck and you're struggling, you can use that one. You know, I just like to do everything really well, and that's why it takes me such a long time. I hear this one all the time from my husband when he's doing DIY, and it drives me crazy because it takes him forever, like forever, to do something in the house. So if he says he's going to decorate one of the rooms, it takes weeks. And I say, oh my God, why is it taking you so long? He says, oh, because I'm a perfectionist. Drives me crazy. Really drives me crazy. Because he's not. It's just what he says. And it drives me crazy. Anyway, so that's another way of answering the question. The third way, you could say that you have a weakness, but you're working on it. So when you say I'm working on it, it means like you're trying to develop it. You're trying to be better. So, for example, you know, let's have a look. I'm going to give you an example here. I'm not that kind of person who focuses on minor detail. I see the bigger picture. And what I do, I started my very detailed calendar, which I check, and at the end of each working day, make sure I do not miss anything. Okay, so that's saying that you're the sort of person who misses the detail. You know, you can see the bigger picture, means you can see the whole problem, the whole thing you have to do, but you miss little details. And that's a weakness, maybe, because you miss some things. So this is my weakness, but I work on it and I deal with this problem by making a list. And I make a list of all, at the beginning of the day or the beginning of each project, I make a list of all the things I have to do. And when I finish the project, I go back and I check it. So yes, this is a weakness of mine, but I work with it and I deal with it so that it doesn't affect my work. Okay, so you're not saying you're perfect. You do have a weakness, but you're working on it and you deal with that weakness. You try and solve the problem so that it doesn't affect your work. So you can say, I'm working on it, or I deal with it. I'm working on it means you're trying to improve. Okay, so different way of doing it. You know, yes, I have a weakness, but I'm working on it, and I don't let it affect my work. Yeah, and then so basically, you can say you have a weakness, but as long as you know how to deal with the weakness and to solve the problem, then they're going to not see it as a problem, and you let them know that you don't let it affect your work. So that, you know, so if you said, oh, okay, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, it takes me a long time to do things, but I'm always happy to put in the extra hours to get a job done to the standard that I want. Okay, so like, you know, you're happy to put in the extra time that is required if you need to, because you know that this is your weakness and that you've taken a long time to do something. So as long as you show you're proactive about it, and you're not just saying, oh, I'm just rubbish, I can't do this, and I don't care, then, you know, they know everyone has a weakness, so you have to say something. Okay? So, that's quite a lot of information for today. Does anybody have any questions about what we've talked about today? Anything that you'd like to know? So, we're going to come back to this again, because there are more questions. There are quite a lot of questions. Okay, so we're going to do a few more interview questions next week. So if you think of any questions that you have about jobs or the interview process, CVs, cover letters, anything you want to know, I will do my best to answer those questions for you. And if you don't have any questions now, I'm going to stop, because otherwise you'll have too much information and it's too much. Okay, so have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week with a bit more about the interview process. Okay, have a good weekend. See you later. Bye.